Well, hi folks, welcome to another post. Today's post was originally going to be about something a little different, but I've changed tack and decided to talk about dreams and achieving dreams. The reason this has come up is over the last few days I've been talking to a member of my extended family, a younger person who's always had dreams about creating a certain amount of wealth and lifestyle and that kind of thing, but has never quite sort of got across the line to actually doing it and getting on with it and actually started creating it and making it happen. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about my process and what I've been through in my lifetime, in line with what the channel is largely about. So I can remember being about 18, 19 years old, and I remembered one day when I was sitting thinking, and I suddenly thought, I want to be able to earn money without having to go to a 9-to-5 job. I want to be able to find a way to generate money legally, for a 9-to-5 without doing a 9-to-5 job. But I couldn't see any way to do it. I just could not see any way to do it. I didn't have much inspiration around in that way when I was younger. I was just told, like most people, a lot of people, get a job, get a trade, save money. Well, if someone had said to me, yeah, get a job, save money, and then invest your money here and see what happens to it in 10 years' time, it might have been a bit different. But no one actually said anything like that to me. So it really took me another probably 20 odd years for me to admit to myself that I actually had a dream of making some wealth and creating a particular lifestyle. Okay. And then it would have taken me nearly another decade to actually start to define and clarify what my dream was. So by the time I got to about 50, about 7 or 8 years ago, I finally had an idea of what that was going to be about, and I actually started working on some of those ideas finally, and then promptly got myself into a huge amount of credit card debt, in excess of 30 grand. A lot of money. Very stressful. I ended up waking up. I remember I'd wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, literally sweating. How in the hell am I ever going to pay this stuff off? And every second of every day, it was accruing interest and going up. It's a pretty stressful time. It was probably about that time I was wondering whether my dream was ever going to survive. But something happened with that debt business. Something happened to me with that. And one of the things the thing that occurred was I'd been to see a financial advisor, and he'd advised bankruptcy, basically. And I thought, no, I just couldn't swallow that. It wasn't going to work, So I sat on it for a long time, and then eventually something happened one day. I had an epiphany. Something happened, and something clicked inside me, like in here. And I just thought, you know what? Stuff it. I'm just going to pay it off. So I got extra work, and I started working away, and something happened. I got into a real, what I call a get it done attitude. It was just like, we're just going to get this done. We're just going to get it done, Before that, I'd had, there are all the fears about, how am I going to pay it off, and how's this all going to work, But I just put all that aside and got on with it, and gradually, bit by bit, I set goals and set amounts, and the debt started to reduce. I'm just checking my list here because so that was a really important thing, what debt taught me. I've got to have a bit of a list, otherwise I forget what I'm always going to say sometimes. That's why I'm filming inside today. Sans hat, of course. But it's there it is, on the table, still with us. But part of how I help to stay focused is have some little sayings and things set up around the place. So one of the things, I'm trying to not move too fast, I don't want to make it a bit too dizzy. That's one of the sayings I've got. When a person is determined enough, they will always find a way to do what they want to do. So that's one of the things I look at each day. And the other thing is, this is where Kevin helps me a bit. You're waiting for Kevin, weren't you? Of course you were. Here he is, sitting here with his sign, looking at me, saying, stay focused, remember the dream. Say hi, Kev. Yeah, he's a bit shy, doesn't say much. So we'll leave him to it. So I think a lot of us are defined in achieving our dreams by what I call the F word. No, not that one, the other one, fear. Whether it's procrastination, criticism, cynicism, lots of words that are used to describe what is really just fear. Fear of facing your inadequacies and facing your blockages and your mental limits, I suppose, and then learning to go past them. And it's usually some sort of extreme situation. In my case, it was a debt, which pushed me past that and helped me create momentum towards gaining my dream. And this was what I was trying to explain to my family member. I made a couple of videos and actually sent them to him in the hope that it'll give him that little bit of a push along. And it really is all about taking action. Tony Robbins, I think Anthony Robbins, well-known sort of speaker in this sort of thing over the years, he mentioned the idea, he used to talk about the idea of taking massive action. And I used to hear it and I think, oh, I don't really understand what he means, you know. I've recently moved house, and one of the things you do when you move house is you deal with a lot of old paperwork. And in the course of that, I found a file relating to a business idea that I was working on about a decade ago, right? I had a handwritten notes in this file about that thick, literally. I don't know how many pages it was a lot. And I was flicking through the notes and reading them, and I couldn't help but be struck by the idea that, well, what was really obvious when I was reading it was that the notes all related to planning, you know, getting ready to do something, you know, talking about doing something. I never did anything. Yeah, I spent more time and effort on the wording on the business card than I did actually getting the business off the ground, you know. And it became really clear where my headspace was at when I was reading those notes and how much that has changed in that time. And I'm so thankful that it has, because finally I feel as though I can gain a bit of traction and excuse me, move forward. So all about facing the fears, taking action, having defined a dream in the first place, and that's how we move forward and create the life that we really want to live, isn't it, after all? So my question to you is, what's your dream, and what are you going to do about it?